So I'm doing a concept pop-up store for my new brand, Good Sugar, as of 2020. So I'm out of juice press now for about a year and a half, and I've been working on a new project called Good Sugar, which eventually will be a full retail store that'll be a updated version of what juice press was for me circa 2010. And a lot of the elements will be the original elements that I think that originally made juice press great. No HPP, very important. I talk about HPP a lot, and if you're in the juice game, you probably know what HPP is. If you don't, HPP is high pressure pascalization, aka high pressure pasteurization. And it's a process where the finished juice that's in the bottle goes into a hyperbaric pressurized chamber, and we put pressure on it. I don't know what the exact numbers of pressure is on it. I can talk about that in detail if my memory is jogged and I have to recall all the facts and figures. But HPP pressurizes the bottle, which that pressure shatters all kinds of cells that live in the juice, bacterium. And by doing that, it preserves the juice and it gives it a shelf stability of anywhere between 30, 60 days. Now, it's different than heat pasteurization because heat pasteurization damages the enzymes. And with HPP, there could be some damage to the enzymes that are in the juice. You could denature them. You can't kill them because they're not living. But the main thing that is the problem is not the preservation of the juice. It's that the juice is no longer fresh. And after a couple of days, the juice really tastes terrible. And I warn people all the time when they're going into HPP for their juice that, if the juice doesn't taste good, people aren't going to buy it. And HPP really doesn't lower the cost. It'll reduce your labor and it will probably reduce your waste. The two things go, hand in hand. If you're constantly wasting juice, then you're creating more labor, but the product suffers. So, besides the integrity of the juice being damaged, it just doesn't taste good. So I don't drink it. So with that being said, the concept that I'm working on basically is just getting rid of all the plastic that was in my original concept. I think that the plastic really is going to hurt the business now. I think consumers are definitely starting to move away from plastic, and it's always been an obstacle. And especially on the food side, the plastic containers, putting a salad in plastic with all these great fresh made salad companies are out there. I just think it's definitely not the way to get customer loyalty. That being said, I have a concept that I'm going to do, which is a pop-up. I'm installing a produce washing sink into an existing built-out retail store a block away from my original juice press store, which was store 1 of 85 on East First Street. And we're going to wash produce. We're going to have the excitement again of dealing with juice production A to Z. I think the customer likes to see that the same way they do when they go to a pizzeria or a bakery. And I'm going to make cold pressed juice, and I'm not going to bottle it. People are going to be asked to bring their own containers in, or I'll serve it fresh right there. I'll make the mixtures. I'm going to work the operation making juice 5 hours a day, 5 days a week. I will have a nice team of people that will be helping me, and we're just going to concentrate on the juice. And I'm also going to sell the juice somewhere between $7 and $8 for organic produce, which is really an impossible price point. And I'm doing it because I think it's the right thing to do during COVID, and I think it's the right thing to do to get people's interest in the juice category again, and certainly to try to build up the cleanse category again. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm really excited to do that. And I'm probably going to launch that in about 3 weeks. That's going to help also, I feel, for me to launch the Good Sugar brand and test out some new recipes that I'm working on for smoothies and for cooked food and for soups. So if the juice thing goes well in New York, then I'll probably add a smoothie category right after that. And right after that, I'll probably add the soup category. And from the soup category, we're probably going to add some prepared foods that don't have to be prepared on demand, that'll be prepared in advance. And um, we could heat them up on site, or people can take them with them. And I'm going to avoid for a while doing any type of delivery or anything that's complicated. I want to have a very short window of operation. The thing that I have in my favor is reasonable rent, and that I plan to work the operation along with two people. So I'll be saving on labor. And although this is not a sustainable business model, I definitely think it's a great way for me to launch the brand and be an ambassador for juice again. So look out for that. I'll talk more about what I'm going to do. The reason I'm bringing it up here is I feel like during COVID, and just juice businesses in general, I know have been not doing so good. Things have been flat, and I know that the juice category has taken a hit. Even pre-COVID, juice category was losing its steam, which is probably not because of anything negative about juice. It's just because if you look at the trends in any type of food category business or product category, whatever whatever product category you choose, you will see that when you launch something, it has a huge spike, and then it plateaus, flattens, and then there's a drop. And so what we're hoping for in any category is that the drop won't be so sharp that we'll be out of business. The juice category, somewhere around 2010, 2011, had a major surge. Everybody was talking about juice cleanses, and juice in a bottle was the hottest thing. And of course, the markets got saturated with new juice bars, and the luster wore off a little bit. And I also think that after a while, people in general could not handle paying $12 for a juice. I talk about that a lot. And even though it's a tremendous value, we all know that it's just not something that people are conditioned to do. We will pay $18 for a steak because that makes sense for some reason, but we won't pay $12 for a juice. Well, the steak probably is more sumptuous and filling for certain people. Definitely has got more calories, and it fits in with the logic of your brain if you grow up on a flesh-based diet. Also, the dining experience is probably more exciting, and so people's brains just say, okay, that's a value. I'll pay $38 for a steak, $18, whatever people pay, and they won't question it. The juice business is supposed to be a lifestyle. Our guests are supposed to come every day, 6 days a week minimum, and get a bottle of juice, get a smoothie, get an acai bowl, grab a salad, get some snacks. And so the price point really starts to hurt them after a while. Customers could really, rack up some big credit card bills with us. I have customers that used to show me their credit card statements, and I was always impressed by how much people were spending on the product line. Some people were spending $300 a week with Juice Press. So we got to, during COVID time, when things aren't great, we can't just disappear. We've got to concentrate on the things that people perceive about juice, which is immunity and health, and concentrate on telling people to stop eating processed food and drink juice to get their nutrients and boost their immune system, and just say all the stuff that's out there that people already believe. Concentrate on making great shots with ginger and turmeric, and use organic produce, and do something really different. Get some lively music, work the juice bar yourself. People love to come in and see a happy owner working, wear a nice chef coat. So I'm going to shoot some videos of myself doing this, and I hope that it succeeds. I don't really care because I have nothing to lose, because I never had anything. Life and death are the same thing. No, seriously. The reason why it's a win-win for me is because I need to launch my brand Good Sugar. I don't want to spend money building out a store right now in the COVID time. I mean, New York, there are blocks in New York City. If you were out here, you cannot believe there's 100% vacancy on many of the blocks that were really popular in the downtown area. And then in other areas, you see, 30%, 50% vacancies. And it's scary. It's scary to open right now. You have to have a lot of nerve to open a store. And I definitely would not want to do that myself. So I'm taking advantage of a situation that I have right now to launch Good Sugar and do some innovation with product and how we sell it. So I'm going to do another recording right now before I go watch the news. Stand by.